One of the questions we hear from many MBA applicants is, how early should I prepare for my MBA applications? The answer is, probably earlier than you think, because there's many things you can do to increase your chances. First of all, the application process to top MBA programs, the competition is incredibly intense. What you might hope was happening is that they take the candidates and they divide them. The ones with good test scores and good jobs all are admitted, and then they decline the ones with bad test scores and bad work experience. This is really not true. At top programs, they have so many different great candidates. What they are really doing is choosing between two incredibly strong candidates. Think of it almost like the judging for gymnastics or diving at the Olympics. The 9.99 will get the gold medal and the 9.97 is going to go home. Number two, the tasks involved in preparing for an MBA application can take a lot of time. You have things like studying for the GMAT, which some of you are probably already beginning. This can take months for some people. Other open-ended tasks like researching the right post-MBA career path can take a lot of time, and all of you also have a very busy schedule. Whether you're a consultant who's traveling Monday to Friday, maybe you're in the finance industry, you're working on deals all the time, you're in the tech industry and there's a new product release. Whatever industry you're in, I'm sure you have a very busy job. Then having these huge kind of time commitments involved in preparing for your best applications means it can be tough to fit it into a short time window.
I think had I knew everything I know now when I started, I would have just started applying earlier. I gave myself 2 months, and it was an extremely intense 2 months. My job is pretty demanding. I travel a lot, and I work pretty long hours. So a lot of my business school application time was between the hours of 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. And the weekends. And had I known then how deep I needed to get, or kind of how many iterations I needed to go through, I would have started much earlier than July 1st. I kind of thought it was a matter of just getting stuff on paper, but in reality, it's true story crafting. And so the more time you have to do that, and the more time you have to get deep on yourself and your application with your consultant, the better.
Then, number three, the topics for MBA applications are actually highly predictable. Even if the essays will not be officially released until May or June of the year when you apply, what you know is that the topics that they will cover will generally be a mix of, what's your personal story? This can be your identity, this can be people who have shaped you. They want to know something beyond just your professional experience. Number two, they are practical. They want to know about your career goals, which leads into, they want to know how will their program help you to achieve those career goals. And they're going to want some detail on this about the specific things you're going to do with your time at that school to make the most of your experience. They want to feel like you have a real need for the MBA program, not that it's something you just want to do. Then, like anyone, business schools are a little bit selfish. They will also ask, what's in it for them? What are you going to do to make the experience better for your classmates? So when you have these topics in mind, you can actually begin thinking about those almost any time.
I heard from peers that the earlier you start, the better. And the last thing you want to do is have a jam job at the last day because you're not going to produce your best work then. And so getting in contact with David early on and really discussing with him my goals, what my profile looks like, and the sort of things that I can do to improve my profile from the day that I started with David until the day that I actually apply. There's certain things, whether it's extracurricular activities or certain work experiences that, even though 6 months may not seem like a long time, it's enough time to really add to your resume. And so starting early just gave me the flexibility to mold my profile into an attractive one for the admission committees.
We see a large number of people who come in only a few months before the deadlines. Great candidates, great work experience, but the GMAT scores may not be where they need to be in order to win admission, because schools are always very picky on this. So if you just don't have enough time, trying to do GMAT study and writing great applications at the same time rarely works well.
Starting early was amazing because it gave me time to think through the second nature of details of differentiation between different schools, and even having confidence in my own story of why I'm doing this and why I want to go to these schools, because then I had the opportunity to visit the schools, make sure my GMAT was at the right level, and retake it if I required.
Another area that the early preparation really helps is in networking with the schools. This is both in the kind of low-level tactical sense that we like people to make campus visits if they can. I have seen a huge number of people come to us in June, July, saying that they are planning to make their campus visits before they apply in round one. And I tell them, pray tell, where will the students be during the summer? The students will be away on their internships, and you can tour the buildings. You can go to the presentation by the admissions officers that, not totally valueless, but compared to a visit where you can sit in a class and you can meet the students, you get much, much less value from doing that. So planning early means you can do these things when you need to do them. And then last of all, this whole process, the 4 parts about your personal story, your career goal, how you'll develop in the MBA, and what you bring to the class. This is really a creative process, and it takes time to do your best work. In the tech industry, in software development, there's a famous saying, 9 women can't make a baby in 1 month. And in the same way, what you can't really do on your applications is take 2 weeks off right before the deadlines and be creative for 2 weeks all in a row. This process is so much easier, and it will take less of your time if you begin early and you do it low and slow versus trying to do it all at the end in a rush. We love working with people who begin early. In our Early Birds program, we work with people who are 1, 2 years ahead, sometimes even more. Our youngest clients are still in college, and we help them understand what kinds of roles they would need to take meanwhile to get ready for the MBA later. So if you're thinking that an MBA is in your future, we would love to talk to you as soon as you know that. I hope we will speak to you soon.